in Boise, Idaho, with my friend Utah Phillips at the Flicks.
At the Flicks. People can go to Boise, Idaho, and catch you at the Flicks.
Me right there. Yes.
There's no place in New York City.
No, I'm visiting this time. It's my vacation.
Oh.
People in Boise think I'm weird because I go to New York for a vacation, but I, on the other
people
hand,
in New York
think
probably
I'm very smart.
think you're pretty weird.
Yeah.
True. You go to Atlantic City for your vacations, Janet, right?
Oh, yeah. That way you have a chance of winning some money to subscribe to WBAI with, so that Free Speech Radio has its day.
Absolutely. It's a great story. It's a great song. My friend Utah Phillips wrote it in honor of Woody Guthrie. And he tells a great story about that, but I like my story because it's a New York story. And I have a whole lot of great New York stories where I like New York. I left my wallet in a taxi cab the other day, and somebody brought it back to me, by the way. I just thought I'd tell you that about New York City. That never would have happened in Boise, Idaho. I can't believe it. But anyway, I was in New York City. This is another Sing Out benefit, too, by the way. They're good stories, too, and a New York Sing Out benefit. David Massengill and some other people decided we should do it at the Mud Club. Back home, nobody can even imagine the Mud Club. I try to describe it to them, and they look at me like I spoke Martian. But for those of you who don't know the Mud Club here, I'm sorry. But when I went there, it's down in the... Is it still there? No, it's not there anymore. Well, it was in the warehouse district down in Soho. And it was a whole lot of great big rooms all painted black. And they had no signs anywhere. You just had to find your way in there because somebody would tell you how to go. And they had dancing. And you couldn't hear the music from one room to another, but you could feel it like a giant chicken heart. It just throbbed, Ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. And they had, the lighting was all strobe lights and black light. And all the people who were in there had on a lot of black and bright, shining colors in the black light, and razor blades in their lips and safety pins in their ears, and they really looked great. But probably in Boise, Idaho, they'd be a little surprised to see them. And in fact, a lot of the people who support Sing Out, who are my age, are surprised to see them too. And so I think it was a great idea to do the benefit down there because we saw some people we wouldn't have seen before. And those people who came from where they still have trees in Brooklyn and everything were surprised. And surprises are good. Anyhow, we got down there and for one reason or another, people came in late. They were afraid to come to that part of town, and they were sort of creeping in and saying, "Is this really the right place?" And Pete was there, Pete Seeger, and he was saying, "What kind of a place is this? There isn't a sign." Now he's making a sign, Anyway, it took longer than it ought to have, and the whole thing was that we had to finish by 11 o'clock, and then the whole place turned into a giant chicken heart, and the black light came on, and all these other people came in. And they were really nice to let us have the place and everything, and I thought they were splendid people, and we were there doing our Sing Out benefit thing. And David sang first, and then I sang, and I really hurried so I would finish by 11 and not turn into a pumpkin or whatever you do at 11 there. And I just didn't quite make it. I got up to the point where I was going to sing this song, which is called Ashes on the Sea. It's about memory. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And I started to tell the story about how it got written that Bruce tells. And the door flew open, and about 100 people dressed like what I described came burst in. And they said, you could hear this voice way in the back say, "What the hell is this?" And the other guy says, "It's the folk singer." And then they said, "Oh, far out." And then they all came and sat right down on the floor in front of me and looked at me, which made me a little uncomfortable. And I figured I could probably sing to them since they were sitting there looking at me, so I started to sing. Well, right in the front row was this guy. He was a black man, about 6'6". I was really tall, thin man. And he had his hair, he was absolutely bald. His hair was all gone. I don't know whether he did that on purpose but his shining head, and a great big gold earring in his ear. And he had on battle fatigues, and he had on field boots. And I began to sing the song, and he began to cry. And he sobbed and sobbed all the way through the song. And then I finished, and everybody responded beautifully. And I started downstairs, and the giant chicken heart came on, and everybody began to jerk around in an energetic kind of way. I saw this guy disengage himself from everybody else and start following me down the stairs, and I observed him sitting there sobbing all the way through my song, and it really made me nervous. I thought he was probably going to kill me because he was following me down the stairs and he'd been crying, and I figured he probably hated what I'd done or something. And I went in the room, and he came in after me. And he smiled, a very sorrowful, sad smile. And he took my hand and he said, "I wanted to thank you." He said, "I was in the war in Vietnam, and my best friend was killed by my side, and he died in my arms." He said, "I've never been able to cry, and I wanted to thank you for making me cry." I told that story up in Washington, and a handsome man who had that same sorrowful smile named Digger Smith came up and told me that was the hardest part, was forgetting how to cry. So to all the soldiers, tears and laughter are close together. Don't forget any of them. What is this song I hear repeating, sprung from the careless seeds you've sown? Our songs will come and go like seasons. They'll bloom and fade all on their own. Now I know I cannot find you. You're gone from all but memory. And I'm told that one who loves you strewed your ashes on the sea. I stepped outside for just a moment to turn and look on my own face. What is that shadow just behind me? Why, it's the old one I reach out to embrace. It's one thing to look up on a picture. It's another thing to read the pages through. Or perhaps to linger by the wayside, hoping I might find a trace of you. And now I know I cannot find you. You're gone, gone from all but memory. And I'm told that one who loves you strewed dust clouds still blow across your footprint. Your best friend still stands there all alone. Boxcars still keep the lovers parted. Little boys still run away from home. What is this song you hear repeating, sprung from the careless seeds I've sown? Our songs will come and go like seasons, and they'll bloom, they'll fade all on their own. Oh, now I know I cannot find you. You're gone, gone from all but memory. And I'm told that one who loves you, strewed your ashes on the sea. I am told that one who loves you strewed your ashes on the sea.
Oh, thank you, Rosalie Sorrels. You really light up this whole room. Thank you very much.
You.
And thanks for coming up when it was really necessary.
I
love seeing you.
I like to be a part of what you're doing. I really hope everybody sends their money in, because it needs to happen more all the time. We need to talk to one another. We don't need to be told. We need to talk to each other.